What's going on, guys? Besides Siri, and today we are going to make a tier list with the best champions of this current patch. We're gonna see what works in low elo, what works in high elo, 25.21 patch notes, tier list for AD carry. Let's get right into it. Be sure to like, subscribe and hit the notification bell. If you're here for the first time, my name is Besides and I'm an AD carry specialized coach. I coach over 3,000 people on AD carry with ranks between Iron and Challenger. So be sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out any bit of content from this channel. Nilah. I think Nilah is she's very weird as a champ. I don't think you can play only Nilah in low elo. I mean, maybe you can if you really enjoy her, but I think that she's more of a counter. I think she's maybe like an A counter. If you pick her into a lot of champions that don't have CC, like if you pick her into Alistar, Leona, stuff like that, it's gonna be hard to play. If you pick her into Syndra mid and they have a lot of range, Jace, it's gonna be pretty hard. But if you have good CC and the enemies have auto attackers, or simply the enemies have stuff that you can block with your W, like a Jax, you know, and they have a lot of champions like that, and they don't have CC, they don't have a lot of range. You have good CC control in your own team. I think she's a great counter, maybe an A counter. Can you play her in every game? Maybe below diamond you can. If you really enjoy her you can, but I don't really personally recommend her as a stable champion, as a one-trick pony, or in your pool you can have her as a third champion, maybe as a second if you have a blind pick, but I don't personally recommend her a lot. So I think she's a fine champion in the meta if you pick her in the right situation. MF. I think MF is probably, MF is really good in low elo. She's the best champion by far to play in low elo, and she's very, very rewarding as well. Much more rewarding than Ashe, which we will talk very soon. I think she's a very great blind pick, but in high elo and low elo she's one of the best blind picks in the game. She still has disadvantages into tanks. She's pretty flexible with first strike or PTA, Bloodthirster build versus collector build. You also can go Yomu's build, you also can go Hubris build. There is a lot of builds that challenger players and one trick ponies go. I personally would say that she's A tier, not S. I don't think she's that crazy, but if I would have to recommend my friends from Silver, Bronze, Emerald, if you want a blind pick and you want to go safe and you're not sure what to pick, you can never go wrong with MF. I think she's a great champion. Ziggs. I think Ziggs is very good. I think you can pick him as a blind pick. You can pick him when your team needs AP, and I feel like you're gonna win a lot of games even though you're not supposed to win those games. Why? It's because he has stable wave clear, and even if you're not so good on Ziggs, you can just throw your spells and you're always useful. Which, if you don't know how to play AD carry and you play a standard AD carry, you play Vayne or you play Jhin and you fall behind, or Ezreal, you're gonna be completely useless. That doesn't happen on things like Ziggs, so this is why Ziggs is S tier. Is it a champion that I recommend for low elo? He's okay if you really want to have an AP pick, but I feel like if you are below diamond and you want to learn AD carry, it's better to avoid stuff like Swain AD carry, Brand AD carry, you know, like this kind of champions. They are fine, they're in A tier. I feel like Karthus is also a champion that you can play, but if I'm Emerald 4, I'm Platinum, and I want to learn AD carry, and I play only Swain, does it really, like, the playstyle is so much different, and it's just not really gonna, you won't be able to translate the knowledge that you get on Swain if you want to play a different champ. Like if you play only Swain to Masters and then you play Vayne, you will probably be a Emerald player of Vayne, or maybe even a Platinum player, you know, depending on your knowledge. So I don't personally recommend AP champions in your pool, but if you really want to, you can never go wrong with this. Seraphine as well, same thing. She's more of a counter pick if you need AP. If you have good jungle AD like a Kindred, an AD carry on mid lane like Tristana, she can never go wrong, but again, I don't recommend her in low elo so much. Lucian is very, 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 very underestimated, I feel like. He works with enchanters, he also works with melee supports. Is he a good blind pick? If you play below diamond, I think he's okay as a blind pick. He does have low range, and if you play against a Syndra, Jace, same thing. If they have a lot of range, it's gonna be hard. Caitlyn, Senna. But in low elo, if you play better, you're gonna get away with a lot of things. So I'll put him in A tier. It's definitely in top 5 recommendations of the best champions for low elo, because it's not that hard. He is pretty hard to master. There are a lot of tips that you can do with him, like a lot of tricks. Like for example, the short dash is very, very, very important. Like when you go on someone, you can do long dash, which means you click away of the champion and you click on the side or in the direction that you want to do the dash, but you do it really far away. There is also short dash, which as you can see, it's much faster. Like if you want to go on one target, like let's say I want to go on that guy and I want to isolate him, I do long dash and I just combo on the right hand side. But if I want to do the maximum damage per second on this guy, I just do auto, short dash, auto attack Q, auto attack, auto attack. So this is the kind of things, like if you don't know the short dash and you don't do it consistently, you might lose a lot of damage, which a lot of people when they play Lucian, they miss. Also when you do auto attack and then Q, that's a pretty grandpa level. Like I like to say it, a bronze combo. You do auto attack Q, animation cancel, right? So by the end of the auto attack animation, you just Q right away. And then if you can do also with the short dash as well, like this, like it's a bit of a hard champion to master. Like I see a lot of disadvantages in him. Because low elo players, if they don't get coached or they don't watch a lot of content of educational guys on Lucian, they might not be able to master this. They don't have drills. So this is why you should subscribe to Bizarre's Coach, because I will show you exactly the drills that you should do and I will show you exactly how to master Lucian. But I think on average he's a good champion for low elo. I do say that. Sivir. I think Sivir is actually pretty good. I mean, if you want, she's not really the best champion in A tier, but realistically speaking, she is in A tier. Yeah, I think she's in A tier. Do you want a blind pick? Do you want to pick Sivir? I mean, yeah, I think she's fine. She's pretty rewarding. I mean, the only thing like with Sivir is like the same thing with Ezreal. You're not going to win lane with Sivir very much. You're just going to push. You're going to maybe learn some wave management. You'll probably have CS advantage. You're going to get more farm than enemies, wave clear, the game is going to be stable, you're not going to int. But when you play League of Legends, if you want to improve in the game, you need to have a champion that will allow you to also play aggressive if you want to, so you can test your limits, and if by testing your limits you will learn more of the game. So Sivir, I don't feel like she does that. She's not bad for low elo. If you really want to have it as your champ, you can. I don't recommend it as the first champ. Maybe you can have a pool like Lucian Sivir, Lucian more aggressive, Sivir more stable, MF Sivir. With MF you can actually go aggressive. She is an aggressive champion, she is an early game champion, so maybe you can have a pool a bit more well-rounded. But if you really want to play Sivir in low elo, she is not bad. It's just not top of my recommendations, and for high elo she can work as well depending on the comp, because in high elo, again, if you don't have a lot of CC and you don't have champions that you can enable with your ulti like Hecarim, Lulu support and stuff like they work in sync with each other, they have a synergy, I think that Sivir into her high range is a bit bad, right? So it's hard to play. Ezreal, I feel like it's the same thing with Ezreal. For low elo, I don't recommend him. He's a great champ. He's probably the best blind pick in League of Legends, hands down, on AD carry, because he just doesn't have disadvantages. He just doesn't really win the lane very hard unless you're good on him. Because if you're good on him, like Diamond Plus, Ezreal is a great champ to have in your pool. Ezreal is such a valuable champion to play and to have in your pool. But for low elo, I just can't recommend him below Emerald. And I know some of you are watching this and you have great mechanics. I see a lot of Emerald players. And the people that watch me a lot, they know that, you know, I coach a lot of people. I coach like diamond players, master tier players, bronze players, and there are huge achievements that they do. Like I have a really good experience with working with people and getting them to higher elo, improving their gameplay, getting a platinum level and making him to diamond, as we can see on the screen. Like this guy from Emerald 4 to Diamond 2 in less than a month with the coaching session. So I know pretty well what works and what doesn't in low elo. And there are some players below Emerald that have good mechanics. Those ones can play Ezreal, but you can't be safe with him. Like usually I would avoid him. Like if you really want to play him, maybe have a MF Ezreal champion pool. If you're above Diamond, you can play him. He's fine champion in this meta, good blind pickable and works with almost every support. Well, with every support, but I don't really recommend him below Diamond. I don't think I recommend him a lot. Corki is actually one of my top 3 recommendations for low elo. I do think that he's very good. I don't think he's S tier. I don't think he's D tier. He's very easy. You just need to know how to play with the Jhin, and a bit of kiting works, but it doesn't really have so hard kit, right? You just press your E and you just use your keyboard and you just press everything kind of. I mean, okay, you need to move in between auto attacks, you need to move in between abilities, you need to know how Jhin works, how to auto attack properly. I mean, there are some things you need to know your limits, because sometimes you have to W on the target and just go all in and use the W so you can hit the W. But I do think that he's one of my top 3 recommendations for low elo. Corki MF would be a great low elo champion pool in my opinion. They are both blind picks. Both works in every situation with with every support. I think they're just amazing champs. MF is probably better, but Corki is also incredibly good. I recommend him in high-low as well. He's like a really, really good champion as well. Ashe. I mean, as I said, I mean, Ashe is really nice. I actually really like Ashe. I think Ashe is probably like, it's really good. Is it good to have Ashe in your pool? Yeah. If you need a bit more utility, you can always pick Ashe. I also play her a lot in like semi-high elo on my main account, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, because like this is my AD carry Smurf at the moment, and when I try to play Ashe, there are some situations where I like, look, Kai'Sa Nautilus, my brand goes 7-11. It's gonna be a bit hard to play in some compositions, so I don't think she is blind pickable. I always say that if you have to choose out of the best League of Legends AD carry for blind picks, which are the following AD carry: Ezreal, Varus, that absolute best hands down. MF is the third, coming in really hot right there. And then if you put Ashe here, you're probably going to put it on number 4 or number 5. So I think she is blind pickable, but she's the worst blind pick out of the best blind picks. And that's not bad, but I just don't like to blind pick her, which I did in this game. And yeah, you guys saw what happens. So Ashe, I would only pick in... like, she's good if you have in low elo, Corki and MF, Lucian. I feel like it's better champions to learn the game. But she is a good champion in the meta. I do feel like she's a bit better than Lucian right now. She's not crazy good, but she is definitely a good champion. When should you pick Ashe? Number 1, you need to make sure you pick Ashe when they don't have a lot of people that can jump on you. So if you see, you know, Katarina, Nocturne, you should not pick this champion. Same thing with support. If they have like a Nautilus, you should avoid Ashe. Number 2, you need to have minimum 3 targets that you can hit with ult, and you know that they instantly die if you hit that. So for example, if they have Akali, your ulti is not really gonna be so effective, because if you hit it, she has the Shroud, she has the Zhonya's, but if they have Talia or Orianna, like a mage that is really easy to kill, the moment you hit ulti, they die instantly. It's very easy. It's very easy. If they have Galio mid lane, it's hard to kill him even if you hit ulti. You got it. So if they have, let's say, Orianna mid lane, which if you ulti, they're instantly dead. And then in the jungle, they have something like Lilia, or something that dies very quickly, like a Sylas. You hit a ulti on him, he's dead. And then on AD carry, they have something like Twitch. This guy, if he doesn't get cleanse, he's dead. Or even a Seraphine or a range support that can't go cleanse. Ashe is really good. And I also like Ashe if you have some follow-up damage. Like let's say you have Ashe, and then you have Zerat on mid lane, which if you hit ult, he can ulti. And then on support lane, you also have something that has a little bit more, you know, follow-up potential, like maybe a hook. But yeah, if you pick her in good situations, she's fine. I would recommend her not as a first stable pick, but as a second pick. She is good also as a first champ main, but I just don't... I feel like there are a lot of disadvantages. And from my experience on Ashe, I have a lot of games on Ashe, and also in like higher elo, lower elo, I did my 200 ping climb with Ashe, 200 ping, Ashe to Diamond 4, and I got 60% win rate. She has some comps where she's just bad, but I guess that's the same with every AD carry. Tristana, another great champion that you can play in low elo, like a Corki Tristana or MF Tristana or Lucian Tristana champion pool for low elo can be very good, because it allows you to learn the game faster due to the fact that they are able to be played aggressively, and they are very good champions that are rewarding. So I do think that she's one of my top recommendations in this meta. Maybe she's not S tier, but I definitely think she's the best champion in A tier. So they're very rewarding. Okay, they're very, very rewarding. And speaking of someone that is rewarding, we're gonna go for Twitch, which Twitch is a very weird recommendation. I do think that he's a good champ. Maybe AP is better than AD, but I don't think that AD is also a reasonable champion. So I personally feel like if you really want to play Twitch and you really like it, you can. It's not really a problem. What's the problem with Twitch is that usually people that play Twitch, they play only Twitch. I think he's very fun. I think he's a fine champion to play. I would personally have a pool like Twitch MF or Twitch Corki maybe, or something like an easy champion plus Twitch, because people that play only Twitch, from my experience in coaching, they play locked camera, they take decisions that are 50-50. I go on their match history and they have dead 50% win rate with a lot of games. So I'm like, hey, you're coin flipping, you're taking decisions that go either way. You're playing only Twitch. Maybe the Twitch, the fact that he can be invisible, maybe he's kind of showing you that you can make some decisions that are suboptimal in general. And if you play a different champion that doesn't really allow you to go for these random roams, random rotations, then maybe your fundamentals will improve faster. Or simply play Twitch but pair it up with a champion that is a bit more stable in terms of allowing you to learn the fundamentals. So I think Twitch is B tier. Actually, maybe he's the worst of A tier. I actually think he's actually pretty good at the game in this meta. Like, Riot makes it so hard because it's like a lot of champions are very playable, and another champion is Caitlyn. She's very hard for low elo. I don't really recommend her so much for low elo, even though she can teach you some fundamentals. You need to be very good at the traps, very good with the E. There are some combos that are a bit harder to pull off, but overall it's not the mechanics, it's really your ability to play around her range and your ability to manage your wave. You need to be ahead in the lane with in early game with Caitlyn, and if you play MF or Trist, it's much easier to get ahead in the early game, because with Kate you need to have good range fundamentals. Well, you need to know your range very well. You need to know spacing, know kiting, know how to use your spells very well, know when to push, when to freeze. Like, she needs more fundamentals. I don't think you should play her if you're below diamond, but she's not that, I mean, she's not the worst champion. It's just I would pair her up with the MF main and Caitlyn, or Tristana Caitlyn, or Corki Caitlyn, or something like that. She is a good champion in the meta, and if you're high elo, she's a pretty nice champion to have in your pool, because she has more range than enemies, so you can always win the lane and get prio. You know, people in high elo also have, you get Karma, get range support, Lux, Morgana. It's so hard to play in that lane, but for low elo, I'm not sure if she's like top recommendations. Kog'Maw, I feel like Kog'Maw is actually really good. It's more like a counter. You can play him AP even on AD carry. I think it's really good. But if you want to go for the AD one, just make sure they don't have a lot of assassins. It works really well with Lulu. And I feel like if you can get away of laning phase and they don't have a lot of assassins and you can scale, he is really good. I think he's just very good champion. I would put him close to Twitch because they're very similar, but I definitely think they're A tier, maybe even S tier if you're picking him like a counter. But yeah, he's definitely pretty good. I don't think, I mean, he's not really a main champion. If you're like lower elo and you want to have a main, I wouldn't really say Kog'Maw is a flexible champion, a blind pick, a main champion. I mean, if you really enjoy him, then play him. But if you want to play the game and improve, and you want to get the best champions that will allow you to improve, he's probably not, you know, the best champ. Kalista, I think she's very good. She's okay. I mean, she's okay. I mean, low elo shouldn't retouch. She's so hard because you need support that is stable, engage. You need setup. She's very bad into Alistar, very bad into CC. You need great mechanics. So if you're below a diamond, I will never touch this champ. If you're above then master and you want to play her, she's not that bad. She's really not that bad. But yeah, I would say don't touch her in low elo. Okay, Varus. Varus is really good. Do I recommend him for low elo? He's not bad for low elo. I think he's actually top 5 recommendations for low elo as well. If you want to learn the game, he's also rewarding. So if you know what you're doing on him and you know the builds and everything, he can be good. He's definitely a very good champion for high elo. He's definitely flexible because you can play Comet build or you can just play on hit if they have tanks. So it's like really easy to say like Varus is the best blind pick in the game. So I think that he's a very valuable pick. So maybe like a Varus MF or Varus Corki or Varus Tristana, Varus Lucian, a champion pool for low elo. If you really learn how to play Lucian really well and Varus, I mean, if you're not climbing, it's just your fundamentals are not good enough. You're not good enough. You need to improve. You have other patterns that are holding you back. It's not the champion. It's definitely something that you're doing that you're not able to close these games out. So I think Varus, I would put him one of the best top 3 in A tier. I don't think I put him in S tier, but he's definitely a great champion right now. Aphelios. Aphelios is a bit complicated. I mean, if you play only Aphelios in lower elo, I mean, I see a lot of people that they are low elo, like gold, silver, even emerald, and they play only Aphelios. They learn the guns. I don't personally recommend you Aphelios, but if you really love him, I mean, you can play him, maybe pair him up with something like MF, easy, right? Or Trist. But if you really want to play him, I mean, I would personally... It's a good pocket pick, okay? So if you're above diamond and you want a pocket pick, he's good. Kalista and Aphelios are like pocket picks. He is good in the meta. I personally feel like he's B tier. Like, he's okay. If you know how to play him really well, you can play him in some situations. But yeah, for low elo, I would say that you should try... Like, if you're stacked on Varus, it's gonna be a bit hard to improve. So I'll do... not on Varus, sorry. Aphelios MF as a pool. Maybe you get coaching session, because in coaching... You know, someone can show you and guide you how to play the champion properly with the fundamentals. Because this champ, if you play only Aphelios, you're probably going to focus a lot on guns, probably going to focus a lot on the champion, and you're not really going to focus on what matters in the game, which is fundamentals, okay? So that's my personal opinion. Xayah is a great champion. He's an S tier pick. If they have a lot of melees, if they have a lot of assassins, you see Fizz, Talon in the enemy team, you see, you know, engaged support like Leona. Xayah is a great champion. He's an S tier counter. I mean, realistically speaking, if you play her in every game, I mean, she's maybe, I mean, I don't know, maybe A tier. If you play her in every game, or maybe B tier, because I mean, she's not so good into, yeah, she's not so good into range, right? Like if enemies have a lot of range, like let's say they picked Ezreal and Seraphine, like she's gonna struggle in the lane anyway, she's gonna get pushed in. Xerath as well, she won't be able to auto attack in team fights. So if your teammates don't play something that is really easy to follow up on them, like something like this, maybe with Ornn or Camille top lane, and then you pick Xayah here, I would not pick Xayah in situations like this. But if she's really your main and you're low elo, she's not that bad as a champion to play in every situation. She's not that bad, she's not really good either. So it's like, I mean, if you enjoy her, you enjoy her. You know, I always recommend play what you enjoy. That's the most important thing. And if you truly want to improve and you got stuck in a rank, try out coaching, because in coaching you can see things that cannot be learned so easy playing only your champion, let's say. Kai'Sa, great champion. Do I recommend her for low elo? She's not that bad. She's maybe one of the worst recommendation out of the best that I for low elo. I don't think she's easy. She has so many combos, and I think she's very good. So if you're high elo, definitely Kai'Sa is a good champion to have in your pool. Kai'Sa Varus is a great champion for high elo. For low elo, I mean, she's so fun. I don't think she's that hard. Like she's a bit, like she's not as hard as Kate, maybe, and definitely not as hard as Ezreal, but she's not rewarding, because to be rewarding Kai'Sa, you need to play really well, right? And I feel like she's not, like maybe you can play Kai'Sa MF or Kai'Sa MF Corki, or you can pair it up with two champions that are very simple, or even with Trist. But yeah, she does have a lot of combos, and I just can't recommend her below Diamond. She's not that bad though, like it's okay, it's better than playing Ezreal or Aphelios or Kalista, but it's not my top recommendation for sure. She's very good in the meta though, she's one of the best, if not the best champions, and the best champion is Jinx. Another top 2 recommendation, Jinx, MF, best champions in League of Legends to learn the game. If you're below Emerald, then you want a champion. She's not blind pickable very much, but below Diamond, I mean, you can probably pick her in every situation, even blind pick, because if you play better, you play better. I would still not play her into a lot of assassins and stuff that can jump on you, but she's okay. If you play her good, you're gonna be able to move forward on the ladder. She's very rewarding. She teaches you the game. If you are ahead on her and you are able to carry, it's not like Kalista, which you need to do everything perfect. I love her. She's great. Okay, Draven. I mean, Draven is a champion that only one trick plays I think he's a very good champion, and he's in S tier for so long. I feel like if you're below Diamond and you want to play a champion only, Draven is good. If you have good mechanics, if you don't touch this champion. And for most people, I wouldn't say they should touch this champion below Diamond. So yeah, there is that. Okay, so we have a few more. Zeri. I think Zeri is B tier. I think she's fine. If you really enjoy Zeri right now, she is okay to play, because she works with enchanters very well, and she's really not that bad. She's like Aphelios right now, I feel like. But I would say she's probably a champion. Like if you like 1 or 2 champions and you enjoy them and you're already good on one of the 2 or 2 champions from A or S, there is no reason to go to B. I feel like there is absolutely no reason to go to play B tier champions unless you really enjoy Zeri, in which case maybe I pair it up with an easy champion from A tier. For high elo, Zeri can be a pocket pick, and she's good because you will have Lulu, you will have good support, you will scale. Zeri is a good pocket pick if you play in a team. For game 5, game 4, she's not that bad. But again, for lower elos, I feel like there are so many champions that you can play better than her. We're not going to talk about Yasuo, Swain, or Cassiopeia, or Veigar. These champions are A tier, at worst B tier. Mages are very good in the meta. You can play Hwei. I guess Hwei is a bit hard, but you can play Swain until Diamond and have no problem. So I'm not really going to talk about AP champions. I'm going to talk about Vayne. I think Vayne is not that bad. She's probably one of the best champions in B tier. I actually forgot to check her win rate, because I checked win rates for most of the carries. She has 51% win rate. This is pretty good. I feel like she's still not A tier, but she is the best of B tier. I feel like she can be a 3rd champion. If you play only Vayne, it's a bit hard, because there are so many champions that counter Vayne. A Nautilus can completely screw your life if he knows how to play MF, counter. I have Varus with Comet. It's so hard to play Vayne. Like a good Jhin, even Caitlyn, if she pushes the lane, it's Caitlyn Karma. It's if you can get through lane and there is a Twitch in the enemy, maybe even a Kaisa, you can pick Vayne. You can have her as a second or maybe even the third champion in the pool, but I don't think she's that good as a first. She is a very fun champion, so if you really want to play her in low elo, you can, but she's definitely not one of my top recommendations at the moment. Jhin, I think that Jhin is very rewarding for low elo. I think that Jhin is for high elo is also like a bit of a pocket pick, different with utility. For low elo, people will love him. I think people will climb a lot with him. From my experience, and if you are a Jhin main, please don't take this personal. From my experience, after I coached a lot of people, again from iron and bronze and gold and emerald and below master tier, as we can see here, Jhin players are not the best, and Twitch players and Ezreal players the same. They play locked camera. Most of them, at least the ones that I worked with, they play low camera, they have no mechanics, they don't know how to kite, they don't move their camera, it's just everything is slow, their clicking is slow, and yeah, it's a hard champion to recommend because he's different playstyle and he's not going to teach you so much about the game, but you will win games with him, even though, maybe you're not supposed to win games with him because you are 0-2 on Jhin and you just press ult or you have W, you still have utility, which will help you to win games that you shouldn't win, games that you lost, that you made big mistakes. And I don't personally like champions like that. I like champions that are facilitating your learning, and champions that are fun, and champions that are yeah, Jhin is fun though. So I would say that if you want to play him, if you really want to play him, pair it with MF, pair it with Lucian, pair it with Trist, pair it with maybe even Varus, like Jinx. Yeah, pair it with Jinx. Not bad if you do that. Okay, Smoulder. Smoulder is a bit complicated because Smoulder is fine. I mean, I just don't see why you would play Smoulder right now. Maybe just pick it with like an A tier champ or S tier champ. I just feel like there are so many champions that are better than Smoulder right now. He's not bad. Like, if you really want to play him. He's not bad, but I just don't see why you would put time in. There are so many more champions, and if you're already good on Smoulder and you're like, oh, but I want to put time in a different champion, I want to play my comfort, then do it. He's okay. He's still, if you play better, you can still win the game. Below masters, you can still win the game, not with ease, but like pretty easy. Yeah, if you play the game good, like if you're good on your champion, you have fundamentals, and you play your champion, have good champion mastery, you can win the game on almost any champ. Yunara. Okay, same thing with Yunara actually. She's B tier, she's not that bad, but I just don't see why you play her when there are so many better champions. I mean, if you really enjoy Yunara, I think she's a fine champion. She actually teaches you a few things about the game. She's also pretty easy, so I don't think she's a bad champ. I just prefer, champions from A or S. If you already play Yunara, then maybe pick a champion from A tier and you're good to go as a stable champion pool. Guys, Samira is a counter pick, same thing with Nilah. Yeah, same thing with Nilah. As a third champion, you can play as a main champion. I won't personally recommend because you kind of need engaged, right, with Samira. And to win with Enchanter, to win with Yuumi, when you play Samira, you need to be so fucking good. So I feel like she's not so rewarding as other champions. So Senna is probably, I think Senna is B tier as well. I think Senna is pretty balanced. If you pick her in the right situation and you can play the game, you can play the lane, you get away with the lane, you can scale, she can be rewarding. I feel like she's between like maybe one of the worst champs in B or the best in C. Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of AD carries are in A, which Riot is doing a great job balancing the game out. Feels like a lot of AD carries are very playable, which I don't think 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years could have actually said that. Let me know, guys, if I missed any champion. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time. Bye-bye. $5. If you have problems improving and getting better in the game faster, but you cannot afford booking coaching, on my Patreon, you can access more than 627 VOD reviews, premium videos about how to wave management, mid-game macro, and tier lists that will show you the best champions to climb and to improve for your elo. And these are not on YouTube, this is only on Patreon, they're exclusive. Moreover, you can participate in the free coaching waiting list to get a premium VOD review. I'm giving away 2 free VOD reviews every single week. All what you need to do is simple 2-step process. Subscribe to my Patreon and share your OPGG, and voila, you are on the waiting list. You're gonna get a personalized VOD review for any game in your match history. For just $5, you get not only the free VOD review, but a whole bunch of exclusive benefits that will supercharge your gaming experience. It's a small investment for a big return. and it's just $5. It's no brainer, right? But here is the deal, you've got to act quickly. The waiting list is already filling up fast. 55 people already subscribed to the Patreon, and there are 6 people that they already are on board, they are on the waiting list, and more are joining every moment. Now, do you want to secure your spot for a free VOD review? Go ahead on my Patreon and reserve it right now.